Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is Gauri Gwareri Mahalla Tija on page 159, and today is Wednesday, the 15th of September, 2021. Gauri Gwareri Mahalla Tija, मन मारे तात मर जाए, बिन मुए कैसे हर पाए, मन मरे दारू जाने कोय, मन सबदे मरे बूझे जन सोए, जिसनो बख्शे दे वडियाई, गुर प्रसाद हर वसे मने आई रहाओ, गुरमुख करनी कार कमावै, ता इस मन की सोझी पावै, मन में मत मेगल मिकदारा, गुर अंकस मार जिवालण हारा, मन असाध साधे जन कोय, अचर चरे ता निर्मल होए, गुरमुख एह मन लया सवार, हाउ मैं विचों तजे विकार, जो तुर राखन मेल मिलाए, कदे न विछड़े शब्द समाए, अपनी कला आपे ही जाने, नानक गुरमुख नाम पछाणे। So the central theme here is to kill the mind. So we have to understand what killing the mind is. In the Rahau, Guruji says, Guru Prasad har vase mane aaye, jisno bakshe de vadiyai. So killing the mind can be understood through the benevolence of Guru wisdom. Jisno bakshe de vadiyai. That means the self-knowledge that dawns through Guru wisdom. The opener is Man mare tat mar jaye, bin muye kaise har paaye. So the question is, how do I achieve the goal, which is the self, the har self, har. And the answer is inherent in the question. It says, bin muye kaise har paaye. That is to say, the har self cannot be achieved without dying to the ego. Man mare tat mar jaye, by overcoming the mind. Its elemental nature, tat, is also subdued. But the question is, who knows the prescription or the medicine to restrain the mind? Man mare daru jane koy. Rare is the individual who knows that. And he gives us a clue. Man sabad mare bujhe jan soy. So the sabad is the medicine that cures the mind. The one who knows this is on the right path. So a word on Tat. We'll talk about Tat later as well, but it is important to remember that Tat in Gurbani has many connotations, ranging from metal, substance, the elements, but here it's being used to describe the mind's natural disposition. So to kill the mind means to reverse its natural orientation, which is outward and is fragmented. Gurmukh karni kar kamave, ta tis man ki soji pave. So the mind is like an intoxicated elephant. Man mein mat, mein gal mikdara. Guru Ankas Mar Jwalanahara. Ankas, it's the iron goad with which elephant trainers control the elephant. So for us, that iron goad is Gur wisdom. The iron goad of Gur wisdom revives the drunk elephant mind. Mar Jwalanahara. So by acting out of Gur wisdom, Gurmukh Karni Kar Kamave, the mind obtains discerning wisdom. The mind becomes discerning. It's no longer restless and running outward. Because man a-sabad-a-day janakoi. Again, the emphasis is this is not an easy task. The rare person controls the uncontrollable mind. Man a-sabad. A-sabad means one that has not been perfected, one that has not been made manifest in its true nature. Sadhe janakoi. Rare is that individual who will actually manifest the true nature of the mind by reversing its natural tendencies. It is a daunting task, the Guru tells us. It's like chewing on iron. Achar chareta nirmal hoye. So the mind is rendered pure, that is to say, it is made devoid of its impurity, which essentially is the ego. It is like chewing on iron. It's like eating the uneatable. Achar chare ta nirmal hoye. So it's a difficult task. Gurmukh e man laya sawar, haume vichon taje vikar. So when the mind's perverted ego is controlled, then it is cleansed. So it's all about the impurity of the ego. Why is the ego haume impure? Because it fogs and clouds our judgment. Because it gives us impressions of the world that are patently false, and it creates a false identity which misleads us and brings us to grief. That really is what this is all about. It restricts and constricts us. So we need to use the mind in its fullest. In conclusion, jo tur rakhyan mel milaye, kade na vichhade sabad samaye, apni kala appe hi jane, nanak gurmukh naam pachhane. The self knows its own ways. Apni kala appe hi jane. It has all the prescriptions. It knows what to do. And those who find their way to the self are never separated. Kadena vichhade. Because they have become like Guru wisdom. Sabad samay. Samay samanta. To be alike. To become like. Says Nanak, through Guru wisdom is self-knowledge realized. So in Gurbani, we have mention of Dhat, but we also have mention of its opposite orientation, which is live. So these are presented as opposing but complementary orientations, or predispositions, if you will, that are available to humans. And Gurbani tells us that both of them are in accord with hukam. Live dhat doe rah hai. Live is rooted in loving devotion. That is, it is inward orientation, centeredness. Dhat is characterized by what we might call the rat race, the incessant and toxic drive to achieve and accomplish worldly goods. It would come as no surprise to us to say that the way of thought will tend to be drawn towards those who are similarly engaged. Likewise, those on the path of live will naturally seek out others who share their aspirations. Tat mile fun tat ko. Here is another connotation on Dhat. Like substances attract each other. Now, ordinarily, we tend to work in extremes. When we are making choices, weighing one alternative against another. But in this case, these contrasting orientations do not present a choice. Those who come to this recognition that both paths emerge from hukam embrace both, but practice a dynamic balance. They're externally driven in pursuit of worldly goals, but remain inner-centered or focused on a vision. In other words, they're of the world, but not in it. And so doing, they're truly abiding by hukam. So the true way is to treat live and Dhat as two sides of the same coin, but not necessarily equal. Live has a driver's seat, so to speak. It is rooted in Gurmat and so derives its worldview, its value system from Gurmat. It is from the vantage point of live that we must engage fully and forcefully in the world, Dhat. Adopting such a stance will bring the clarity of thought and steadfastness needed to navigate life. And with those thoughts, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.